Well, hello, good evening, ladies, and thank you so much for joining me here tonight. I really want to honor you for being on this call and being on this live training. And I know that I have a value-packed training set up for you tonight. So I hope that you have your notepads ready and you're in a very quiet location, undistracted. All other tabs except for this one is closed so that you can be fully present and fully attentive on the session so that you can get what you came here to get tonight. So as advertised for this training, I'll be talking about how you can attract high-end leads and sell $3,000 and $5,000 packages with a polished and professional brand online. So I know that you're here because you know that there's so much more available for you and you're ready to step into a fuller, bigger life and create a world-class brand that will make an impact in the lives of other people. You have a desire to create a powerful personal story and, an authentic brand that unfolds beautifully into the world and that really will make a difference in people's lives. And ultimately, I know that this is true for you. The fact that you're here, it means that you're a heart-centered woman. You really want to make a difference, but you also want to live a fuller life. You want to be able to contribute to your family, take beautiful vacations, and just have a lifestyle for freedom and really the life that you truly desire, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, building a brand on feminine principles and luxury positioning will help you get noticed. It will help you stand out and it will help you earn more money for your amazing work. And there's never been a better time in history to do this. Like, back in the 80s and early 90s, we didn't have the internet as it is now, like, the Facebook and all of these tools that have enabled us to reach a global audience and really make an impact at a bigger level. Playing at a global level was for bigger brands, bigger companies. Now you can do it from anywhere in the world. And so I really want to honor you for stepping up and saying yes, that this is your time. This is the time for you to create the type of impact that you've always known has been possible for you. And, as I said, I don't care if you live on a small island or if you live in a small town or if you're in Europe and you have a desire to work with North American clients, whatever your desire is, you can play a bigger game in business and in life. And this training is designed to show you how you can get there, right? But ultimately, my desire for you is that you create a brand that is authentically you, a brand that reflects all of who you are. A lot of times I see women, part of what holds them back is that you're afraid that if you commit to a certain niche market or a certain ideal client, that you're going to lose working on some of the things that you're passionate about because you really have to narrow down very clearly. And so all these other passions need to be set aside and you need to focus. Now, while focus is important, and I always say if the more you focus on one thing, the bigger results you're going to get in that area and the better your expert positioning, I truly believe that in that one thing, there is a way to bring several combinations of yourself into your brand so that you're lit up and you're excited to be with your ideal clients and to be of service because you're not leaving out parts of yourself that are true for you, parts of yourself that excite you and that really resonate with who you are. Now, I want to share that I remember because of the strong Christian values that I grew up with and not having many examples of people with a freedom-based lifestyle and business in my life, I questioned my desire for a long time. And the moment I went for it, my world opened up and I really began to live my dream. I got out of the question, and I want you to take a note of that. I got out of the question of what if this doesn't work, and questions like, and then I started asking better questions like, how can I make it work? Who can help me make it work? What do I have to do to make this happen? And I really am a firm believer that when you begin to ask better questions, when you begin to show up in a certain way and align in a certain way, that's when you're going to show up more powerful for your ideal clients, and you're going to make a bigger impact, and people are going to catch on to your enthusiasm and your authenticity and your commitment, and they're going to see that, you know, you're good at what you do because your brand is set up in a certain way, because you're asking the right questions, you're taking the right actions, and you're doing the right things to really elevate your brand and take it to the level that you know is truly possible for you. You've taken the time to join me here tonight because you're ready to take your business to the next level, and you're ready to create authenticity and a unique brand that's captivating to your ideal clients, right? You want to learn how to communicate with your ideal clients and create a brand that will inspire and motivate them. Maybe you felt blocked in the past because of fear, or you're worried that you don't have a unique message, and maybe there are already other people in your niche that are doing what you want to do, and you feel like maybe there's nothing new that you have to offer, or nothing unique, or maybe your work isn't as valuable. And so part of your fear is maybe sounding like a me too. You don't want to come on and feel like you're saying what everybody else is saying. I want to share with you tonight that is impossible, all right? It is impossible for you not to have a unique message and for you not to have a unique brand. Write that down, and I want you to make that a mantra, because it's true. There's no one like you. There's no one with the exact life experiences that you have. There's no one who has walked the path that you have, who have seen the challenges and the victories that you have. Not the way that you have had it. There's no one on the planet like you. And so I'm going to show you how you're going to take you and become truly magnetic and create a world-class brand around everything that embodies who you are. Maybe your industry is traditional and people are doing things in a certain way, and you sort of have this fear that if you come out as you're going against the status quo, you're going against the industry template, and maybe you're not going to see success because that's not what clients want. And I'm going to show you how you can be true to who you are and be true to what your clients want at the same time. Like, it doesn't have to be either or. Take a stand for the and, because it is possible to do both, okay? So if you are, part of why I wanted to do this training and really focus on building a powerful brand message is that, I've had clients who've said to me, for example, if they're a life coach, a health coach, for example, that they feel like they need to be teaching about losing 20 pounds because that's what the market wants. When your work is more than helping people lose weight. So there's nothing worse than probably being a holistic coach, or maybe being a business coach, and somebody's labeling you as this one little thing that's so much smaller than the greatness that you have to offer. And so how do you really communicate all of what you have to offer in your brand so that people see the fullness of the great work that you do in the world? So we're going to explore that tonight. Whatever your expertise, you are the type of woman who wants to create a brand that is past the cookie cutter, that isn't superficial or surface level marketing or some industry template. Like, you want to create a brand that is truly embodying the deep and powerful work that you do. I know that you're here because you're searching for answers on how to powerfully connect your brand without feeling like you're living out part of yourselves. That is not a good feeling. Like, you're not going to show up powerfully, and you're not going to attract clients if you're doing that, right? So one thing I want to share here tonight is that I want you to have compassion for yourself. I know that we can get caught up in, I should be further along. I should have achieved this by now. I should have figured this out by now. Be gentle with yourself, okay? Because you're probably thinking that, you could be doing better. And yes, that might be true, but you are where you are now for a reason. And you're on this call and you're going to go to another level, because the more information, the more resources you have, the more tools you have, the more you're going to grow and expand. And I'm here to support you. You're not alone. It can feel like we're so alone going through the process. You're not alone. I'm here with you, right? So you're meant for something big, and you're determined to achieve that by creating an authentic brand and honoring your femininity. Like, You don't want to build a boring brand. You want a brand that expresses the female side of you. You're a woman, and you have a right to show up as that, as the stylish woman that you are, or whatever your brand, your personality is. You want that to show up in your brand. So I want to thank you for joining me, and I want to share with you the exact process for creating a brand and brand message that fully embodies and represents your amazing work. I'll be sharing with you my proprietary system for building a brand that brings all of who you are into your brand and brand message to create irresistible connections with your ideal clients. You don't need to lose yourself to get clients, right? When you show up authentic and have developed a strong message, your ideal clients will connect with you, the real you, the woman of substance who has so much to give. I have never shared some of this information outside of my private coaching sessions or even my high-end consulting clients. And so it's very important that you understand this process and that you pay attention and you stick around throughout this entire presentation, because it's going to be very good information that will very well help you get a clear sense of what it takes to take your brand to the next level. Once you have this information and you implement this process, I'll share, your brand will become everything that you desire and you want it to be. And I know that because I've created it for myself and I've helped many clients create it in their business. You're gonna have more passion, more motivation, and confidence to go out and share your message because you'll no longer be denying your true voice. You're gonna make more deep, meaningful connections with your ideal clients because you're not for everyone. Like, I want you to get a sense that when you're out marketing, your message is not meant to touch everyone. And you're gonna learn how to touch the right people because not everybody's gonna be your tribe or your ideal client. So really get a sense of that. Like, sometimes we get ourselves into disappointment because we're targeting all the wrong people when that's not the people you were meant to serve. These are not the people who are perfectly aligned to the skills and services that you have that you can make the greatest impact for. So you really want to be able to zero in and reach the people that you can be of the highest service for. And I'm going to show you how world-class brands do it and how I help clients do it as well. So I really want you to anchor in, and I usually start my sessions with a prayer or meditation. If you're not feeling that level of connection, then it's okay. But those of you who are available for that, I really want to invite you at this time to just close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths in. Deep breath out. And we want to invite divine presence to this session here tonight. Dear God, you know the women who are on this session, that they are fierce women, women who are determined to make an impact in the world, women who are determined to live out their divine purpose and create an impact, women who are willing to put in the work and to do what is necessary to make their dreams happen and to fulfill their divine destiny. You know that these women have been searching, have been seeking, and I pray that this session tonight will be of the highest service to them. I pray that their eyes will be open to see what they have not been able to see in the past. Their ears will be open to hear what they have not been able to hear. And whatever divine messages, whatever divine insights that these women need to take them to the next level, I pray that you will enter their lives and that your voice will speak loudly to them, that they will know it is you. And they will be obedient to their desires. They will be connected and know that whatever path, whatever next step is the right step for them, they will know it with certainty and they will walk into it. And we pray this believing. Amen. All right, ladies. So for those of you who have never met me before, because I know that some of you are new to my list, I want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me. My name is Hannah Fitz, and I'm an international brand strategist and business coach and Amazon Kindle bestselling author of the motivational book, I Am the Gatekeeper. Now, my credentials are, I earned a British master's degree in international commercial law where I focused on intellectual property and e-commerce law. I also did a certificate in managing luxury brands from Bocconi University in Milan, and I'm a certified in project management, and I have a certificate in life coaching. I started my career as a new product development and product management officer for a major financial group in the Eastern Caribbean. And I started giving into the status quo while I was in this job, yet I was praying that one day my life would change and my life would be better. Nothing changed until I decided that today my life will be better. Like all the time that I was wishing and I thought, you know, one day in the future it will improve. It was only when I made the decision that today was going to be the day that I change my life, that I take a new action, that everything in my life changed. And so I was like not available in this job. I was like working, I was available for the job. I was really great at what I was doing. In fact, I was up for a promotion when I handed in my resignation. But I was not okay with staying in an environment or a job working on projects that didn't light me up or make transformations in people's lives. Like my deep passion is working with people and making an impact in their lives, helping them make deep, meaningful transformations. And the financial industry just didn't allow me the opportunity to do that. Also, I was like having 3 weeks vacation a year upon approval, like someone had to approve my vacations. And I'm a person who loves to travel. I've been to over 109 cities around the globe. And it's just part of who I am. And I felt like I was really denying that part of myself by not having the level of flexibility that I truly wanted. I was okay. And the other part, which might seem superficial, was I had to wear a uniform that I was not in love with. Like it really was not in line with my fashion sense, right? So I got fierce with myself. I made the decision and I decided to pursue my true passion from a no matter what place. Like it was scary. It was, you know, it was uncertain. I didn't know what was going to happen next. But I made a decision that now was going to be the time. And I was going to seriously pursue my dreams, invest in it from a no matter what place, and trust in the process that I would be led to the next step and next step. I really know that from that pivotal moment in my life, every time my life has changed, it was because I made a decision and took a chance. And so if there's anything that you want to change in your life right now, it's about making a decision to make that change and to take the action necessary to achieve what you want to achieve. So I left and I started my own consulting firm, and my clients included luxury award-winning hotels, Condé Nast award-winning hotels, private jet companies, chauffeur services. I also worked on a few European Union development projects as well as Canadian funded projects. And one of my proudest moments was when I was hired to rebrand a town. So I have a lot of experience in the area of branding and rebranding. I knew if I was going to work with these luxury world-class brands, I needed to create a brand that was luxury and world-class as well. That's what got me those high-end clients. I developed a brand, got clear on who my ideal client was, and I created offers and messages that will make their lives and businesses better. And this is key. Like high-end clients aren't going to work with a brand that doesn't reflect what they want for themselves. Like your brand has to be in alignment with the clients that you want to work with. So I had one of those early experiences that was a key lesson in my career. Excuse me. And I remember I got a referral because people knew what I was doing because my message was so clear. And I got a referral from someone for a major project. And when I sent in the proposal for the project, I priced the project at $17,000. And then I got a phone call a day later from the project manager saying, do you realize the scope of this project? You may want to rethink the price that you have charged. And, you know, I was happy. Like I thought the amount I had charged for me at that time, I had just started my business. I was lit up about working at that level. And she said to me that I had really undercost my work. And that was a serious lesson for me, because I find many times we undervalue our work because we're so passionate about what we do, and we're just happy, to work with clients and to do this amazing work and to have people experience what we're doing and all of that great stuff. But my encouragement to you in the process is to not undervalue your work and to really invest in creating a brand that represents you. Because if your work is truly high value and it's going to make an impact in people's lives, you really do deserve to be paid well. And I really see this woman as my angel messenger, because she changed my life. She really helped me see my worth. And because of that, I've been able to create the brand and create the type of packages and sell the type of packages that I've been able to sell to clients over the years. So I just felt that I should share this with you, because I really see a lot of women undervaluing their work. And, it really does not send a good message to clients as well. Like, if you're undervaluing your services, people are going to get the idea that you're not good as you say you are. Now, I lived in Milan for about 2 years and consulted for award-winning winemakers. I even consulted for the personal jeweler of Giorgio Armani and Fiona Swarovski. One of my proud projects was being able to raise almost $250,000 worth of sponsorship to fund my dream project, which was a junior cooking competition, which was really to help young people in my community on the island of St. Lucia to express their passion for the culinary industry. And the winner got a scholarship to attend Italy's #1 culinary school. And this was a very proud moment for me. And I got to partner with major brands like San Pellegrino and Aquapana to make this a reality. And it really showed me that, when you show up and when you pursue your passion, when you allow yourself to express your brand in the world and you show up, it's not just a blessing for you. It's a double blessing for both you and your clients. And I really want you to get this in your body, that there are clients that are waiting for the blessing that only you can give to them. And you really need to honor that gift that the divine has placed in you and really show up powerfully in the world, fully committed. So I later moved back to the Caribbean, where I live with my Austrian partner and our dog, Sunny. My life has changed so much, from the girl in that tiny cubicle who was scared and only had a dream. I still feel enormous gratitude every day that I get to consult and coach highly motivated women just like you all over the world. I'm reminded daily that everything is possible. And I want you to get that, the vision and the big dream that you have for your brand, it's all possible. Sometimes our mind, our head can get in the way. It can tell us that, it's not going to happen for you, or it can create all these delusions that it's not possible, or you're dreaming too big. No dream or desire is too big for God. And the dreams and desires that you have been placed in you for a reason. That's why I always say we need to honor it and pursue it, right? So you will successfully build your world-class brand when you become very clear about your desires and who you desire to be, right? When you have a strong why, when you start believing in yourself and you love yourself enough to give yourself permission to claim your position as a high-value expert who deserves to be paid well for your great work, right? When you have a clear strategy and a plan, when you've created an authentic and unique brand identity that excites you and your ideal clients feel connected to it, when you become unapologetic about being you, when you're fully committed to building and being a world-class brand and claim your success and the destiny that you know is yours, right? It's really yours. I want you to get that. So I'm going to share with you, I'm going to switch over so that you can see my presentation that I prepared for you here tonight, where I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps of creating a high-end, polished, and professional brand so that you can sell high-end packages online. So let me just do the switch over. I'm going to share my screen with you. Great. So we're going to look at the 5 steps to creating a polished and professional brand that sells high-end packages. The first step is mindset. I want to share with you the real reason why highly educated experts, especially women, are feeling blocked and unclear about their brand message and don't feel confident marketing online. The number one thing that I see is personalizing it. Like you're making it about you. It's not about you. Now, I had an experience, I've had several experiences over my life and in the beginning of my career where, you know, if I couldn't figure out something, like maybe I couldn't figure out like how to do Facebook ads or something like that, and I made it about me, like I made it mean that I was a failure, that I couldn't do this. You're not a failure and it's not about you. Whatever you don't know, there's always someone else who has this information who can share it with you. And I remember it was a powerful revelation for me that if you can't do this, why not hire someone who specializes in that area to help you? And like, it seemed like a no-brainer, but I was beating myself up because I couldn't figure it out because I had made it about me. And we do it in the process of like, if someone doesn't buy your services, you make it about you make it about your services not being good enough, or maybe you're not good enough. It's not about you, right? Don't personalize the experience. Maybe this person wasn't ready for your services yet. Maybe they weren't your ideal client. Maybe they're going to buy it later. Maybe your product was not a fit, or your product isn't the right product, but it's not you personally. And when you take the experience from out of yourself and onto seeing how you can improve or enhance a certain thing, or what you need to do to take it to the next level, you're going to start experiencing success and your brand in a totally different way. And this is powerful. Like, don't minimize this piece, because it's a big piece where we take our fears into it. We take our fears, we say, you know, I can't do this, or I'm a failure because I can't make it happen. It's not about you. Maybe the information you have isn't where it needs to be, or maybe you need some mentoring or coaching around it, but it's not you personally, right? The other thing is living in the question and instead of taking action. So you question whether your expertise are good enough. Now, I see this all the time. Like, a woman will have great expertise, and when it comes to giving friends and family advice, like, you're the expert and you're great at it. And the moment it comes to charge someone for it, then you start to dial back and question like the value of it, right? I don't know how many of you can relate to this, but I know that a lot of women go through this. You also ask, will it work? Like, will you find clients? Will this work? As I said earlier, it's about asking the right questions. It's about turning these questions around and saying, how can I make it work? How can I find more clients? How can I make it work today instead of when will it work? How can I make this happen today? The other thing is trying to please everyone. So you're busy trying to speak to everybody in your market when that's not going to work. Like, you have to speak to your tribe. You have to speak to your ideal client. And as I said earlier, the people that you can be of service to. Don't try to please everyone, or else you'll end up pleasing no one. Focus on the people that you can best serve and be of the highest service to them. The fear of success. Now, this one is a big one, and what you might have to sacrifice to get it. A lot of women fear that if you're too successful, you're going to be too busy, you're going to be overworked, you're not going to have time for your family, or maybe you won't have the quality of life, you're going to get sick, you're going to be tired all the time. It doesn't have to be about that. You know, there's a way to build your brand in a way that you don't have to sacrifice your time. When I say sacrifice your time, like sacrifice your family or sacrifice love or sacrifice anything in the process. I know some of the big fears about for women, some women is like, will I be able to keep a relationship if I become successful? Will my spouse be jealous that I'm making more money? And all of these things that we worry about, when I say, you know what, you'll cross that bridge when you get there. Why worry about things that haven't happened yet? Like, focus on how can you make it work? How can I have this successful business and brand? And how can I have a successful relationship all at once? It is possible. Like, there are people who are doing it. So I really want you to get that you don't have to sacrifice family, love, or any of the things that you're scared that needs to happen for you to build your brand. Losing yourself in the process of building your brand. Like I see women overcomplicating their marketing and branding by trying to apply all these like stats and guru tips, and they get overwhelmed with a clutter of information, and you're losing touch with your true essence and what makes you unique in the process. You know, I had this client who was working with me on her brand, and we were working on the copy of her sales page. And though she's a very stylish woman, like there's no, like she is the definition of high style. She kept coming up with like these boring masculine taglines and copy that was just not reflecting who she is. And I kept observing her speaking, and I could see her editing her greatness. Like we do that. You second guess yourself. Like you're, oh no, that's not what the experts are saying I should say. And then you start dialing down your true message that may very well be powerful in the world. Or you're making assumptions about what your ideal clients want from you based on what other successful coaches are doing. Don't lose yourself in the process. Discover your desires and what makes you truly unique, and develop a brand that allows you to express all of who you are. The second step is creating a unique positioning in your market. Now, in one of my other presentations, I go in more detail with the créneau, finding your créneau. It's called chercher le créneau, which is French for finding the hole in your market. Like, what is this gap in the market that you are meant to fill? And really positioning your brand to own that space so that you can create a unique positioning for yourself that's different from what everybody else is doing. And so finding your unique positioning and is all part of your brand strategy of your roadmap to success, defining your competitive strategy and your ideal clients. You need to find your unique place in the market that allows you to fully express the essence of your brand in a way that is different from your competitors. And so when you find your créneau, you're discovering what is the best way to position your brand in the market. That's what your brand strategy does. It's what gap can you fill? How can you best position your brand? We then look at creating a roadmap to success and looking at your competitive strategy, like who are these competitors in your market and how can you best position your brand so that you are feeling the need that your ideal clients need, but you're setting yourself apart from everybody else in your market. And we also, under the brand strategy, look at who are your ideal clients and how can you reach her. Now, in positioning, I want you to pay attention to this diagram that I've created. And it really shows you how you want to position your brand. Now, in one circle, I have your ideal client's pain point or opportunity. Your brand is either fulfilling a opportunity, a desire that your ideal client has, or fulfilling some new opportunity for them, or it's helping them relieve a pain. Then you have on the other side, what is your brand strength, your unique strength for your brand, and then we have your competitive strengths, your competitor's strength. Now, if you position your brand at a place where your strengths are equal to your competitor's strengths, then you're in a tough zone and you're battling your competitors with a positioning your ideal clients may not care about, right? If you go to the point where your competitor meets your client's demands better than you, you're in a defeat zone, like you're not going to succeed there. If you go where the intersection where your competitor's strength match your ideal client's strength, it's high risk because everybody's competing for the same positioning, for the same clients. And so what tends to happen in that middle ground is that you have a lot of price cutting and people trying to undercut each other because there's no differentiation other than price. And so you're competing on price. You never want to be in a position where you're competing on price. You want to be in a position where your strengths are clearly different from your competitor and really meets the needs of your ideal clients. That's your success zone, right? So I want you to take a note of that. Your ideal clients have an established worldview. And so whether at the conscious or subconscious level, and I put in this iceberg to really reflect that much of what's happening with your customers sometimes happens beneath the surface, right? At the subconscious level. Sometimes your ideal client has a pain or a desire that they're not yet conscious to. And so if you can tap into that, you're really creating a very strong position for yourself in the market because they haven't identified that this is the pain or the desire yet, and your brand is pointing it out. It awakens them. And so that's a powerful place to be. Now, the worldview is really how your ideal client sees the world or sees a situation around them, right? The job of your brand is to align your brand strategy, message, and movement to support or awaken their worldview. So I'll give you an example. Apple democratized computers, right? When Apple came into the market, Microsoft was like the market leader, and Microsoft and many other brands were leading the market, but the computers were hard to use. Like the average person could not use the computer. You really needed to be like a techie or a geek to really handle computers. And Apple decided that they're going to take a stance that computers should be easy, stylish, and accessible for everyone. Now, at the time, people might have accepted, they might have bought into the idea that, oh, only these techie people can use computers. But maybe at the subconscious level, they're thinking like, why can't we use computers too? Why isn't it easier for us to use? And so when Apple took that positioning, they were like, yes, you get us. You understand what we want. And so that's what really helped Apple establish itself as a market leader, because it tapped into a worldview of its ideal client that they were probably thinking at the subconscious level or already expressing, and they satisfied that need. You don't want to create a worldview. You can, but it's really hard to do it, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money to do it. So you need to find one that is either established or one that is just waiting to happen. So we spoke about that. Another example is Versace tapping into consumers' existing worldview that a woman has a right to express herself provocatively through clothing. So many brands were probably a bit more conservative at the time, and Versace came in and really wanted to cater to the woman who wanted to make a bolder, fierce image of herself in the market, but didn't have the brand that allowed her to express herself in a sexy and provocative way. And Versace really filled that need for their ideal client and satisfied that worldview that a woman has a right to express her sexuality through clothing. So why do you need a well-crafted brand strategy? You will be able to create a brand that is designed to achieve your specific goals. The way you build a brand to make $50,000 or $500,000, it's different. The strategy is the lifeblood that determines this, right? You will be very clear on where you can find your ideal clients, how to make authentic and deeply meaningful connections with them that convert into sales. That is the purpose of your strategy. It is really a blueprint and a roadmap. So the best way to craft your brand personality to create a gorgeous online presence that fully expresses who you are and what you stand for. So once you have a clear strategy, it will really guide you and inform what type of personality will best suit the achievement of your goals and help you authentically express yourself in the world. It allows you to also make meaningful connections with high-paying clients and create magazine-worthy photos. So the strategy is going to guide all of that. Now, there's a psychology behind how you express your strategy through your brand identity. And I'll show you the secret that world-class brands use to do it. And this is something that I've never shared in any other training, so you want to pay attention to this. This information, when you apply correctly, will end your website shame, help you create a unique and powerful brand message to stand out in your niche. Especially if you have worked with many well-meaning graphic designers who still are not getting the look and feel you desire for your brand that truly reflects your sense of style and high-end services, this process is going to help you nail it. So this is step 3, where we look at creating a compelling brand identity and brand DNA. Your brand identity is a powerful identification of your brand character / personality. This is the feminine aspect of brand building. It embodies your mission, message, and movement, and it is really like the manifestation, the expression of your strategy. It's what you stand for and are out to change in the world and in people's lives. Now, there are 6 dimensions on the brand prism by Kapfer that really helps inform the stages of how to develop your brand DNA or brand identity. And this includes personality, culture, self-image, reflection, relationship, and physique. Now, this is the masculine structure. These are the elements of your brand that needs to come together so that you really nail your brand identity and brand image. However, we're going to take this a step further and bring in the feminine structure that's really going to help you bring in those subconscious codes into your brand to support all these 6 things that I just showed you. To build a brand that connects at an emotional level with high-end clients and where they feel like this irresistible attraction to your brand, we need the feminine approach. And so to explain to you what the difference between masculine and feminine energy in branding, the masculine is about structures, systems, strategies, tools, analysis, logic. The feminine is about intuition, collective consciousness, emotions, and nurturing. Now, why is the feminine approach important in branding? Well, 20% of why we buy is logic, which is masculine, and 80% is emotional, which is feminine. So if you want to be profitable in your niche, you really want to focus on the 80%, which is the emotional aspect and tapping into positive emotions. Studies show that positive emotions towards a brand have a much higher influence on loyalty long term. And you also want to be able to create brand loyalty. Emotions sell. So you need a brand that embodies that. The secret to mastering your brand identity and brand message lies in archetypes. Now, I have this guy here. His name is Carl Jung, and he was the founder of analytical psychology. And I put a quote by him before we go into what this all means. Who looks outside dreams and who looks inside awakens. And that's what you want to do for your clients. You want to tap into the deeper subconscious level of their mind. The secret to mastering your brand identity and message, he believed that there are identical psychic structures common to all, which influence how we experience the world. Now, remember I spoke about your clients having a worldview, right? And that worldview, Carl Jung saw it as being what influenced their worldview are things like archetypes, right? In other words, we all experience the world through different filters. And those filters can be found in archetypes. And I'm going to show you more about how archetypes work and how you use them in branding. World-class brands use archetypes because it creates a shortcut to unconscious beliefs and perspectives of your ideal clients so that your brand can create instant and familiar emotional connections with ideal clients that become passionate about your brand. A big aspect about this is affinity. Your ideal clients see themselves in these archetypes because archetypes represent different worldviews. So it makes your brand not only relatable, but irresistible because they see that archetype. They can relate to the archetype of your brand. So all the stories and movies we grew up watching as children were based on archetypes, right? They are part of our culture. They are part of how we're socialized. And so they are part of who we are. These stories use archetype emotions to tap into our feelings. And I'm going to show you some examples. So in the movie Moana, she was the heroine. The heroine is an archetype. We see heroes and villains in a lot of movies, and we're always rooting for the hero. And so being a hero, the hero can be expressed in different ways. Another way to express a hero is a sage. And an example of this was Morpheus in the movie The Matrix. Another example is Wonder Woman, which is the warrior archetype, which some people will relate to. Now, each of these archetypes will connect emotionally to different people. Like not everybody's going to connect to those archetypes, right? And so that's why it's important that your brand reflects the right archetype and it really has the right one that connects with your ideal clients. Now, to help my clients create a truly authentic and unique brand, I help them uncover 3 archetypes, with the dominant archetype being known as what is called the core archetype. This is how you make your hero different from any other hero in the market, establishing your kernel at an emotional and subconscious level. So the reason why 3 is important is these combinations, we're not all one thing, right? We're going to have like a dominant personality, but we're also going to have like these other things that make us uniquely who we are. So even if there are 1,000 warriors, your warrior is going to be different. So I want to show you a video from Nike, just to show you an example of how real life brands, so I showed you how movies do it, but I want to show you how real life brands use archetypes. Nike's archetype is the hero. They do have 2 other archetypes that influence the brand, but the core archetype is the hero.
I always felt like an underdog. I was really small for my age, and I was Venus Williams' younger sister. I always felt like I was just fighting to make it. I never felt I would be great one day. Training every day for 30 years is difficult. Then I also think someone is out there working really hard, and there's a poster on their wall of me, and they're working to beat me. With that, I get up, I go. Every day I'm sore, but that's the life I chose. So there's obviously days I don't feel like training, but there's no day that goes by that I feel like losing.
So I hope that this really showed you how Nike, brands like Nike, use archetypes to tell powerful stories and send a powerful message into the market. And I'm sure you can probably see yourself in that story to some degree. And for some people, it's going to resonate with you even stronger. So I want to go back to the presentation so that I can continue to show you how other brands do this. So we saw Apple's archetype, and Louis Vuitton's core archetype is the explorer. So many people may not consciously know this, but Louis Vuitton uses the explorer archetype to express its brand and connect with people that relate to that type of message of travel and exploration and discovery and all of that, right? Volkswagen's core archetype is the child. So the brand always brings in that playful side. They do have other aspects because no brand has one archetype. I'm just showing you the core. We can't go into all the details of this tonight, but I do go through it throughout my training. There are 60 different archetypes, with 12 being the fundamental archetype. Now, as I said, part of what I do is I believe that like your core archetype should make up 70% of your brand, which would really help you create that consistent message and that consistent view. But having the other archetypes to really bring in that different dimension to your brand and level of authenticity is what's really going to set you apart from anybody else who's using a similar archetype to you. So no 2 brands can express their archetype in the same way. This is how you, as I said, make your hero different. And I said, why 3? 3 forces you to make hard choices. If you have like 10 different archetypes, then people are going to get confused and they're going to get mixed up with your message. So it keeps your brand character, message, and image consistent, right? When done correctly, your brand will attract certain clients who will be your tribe. The clients you attract are influenced by your archetype. You will attract clients when your brand archetype is aligned to the archetype that is dominant or emerging in your ideal client's psyche. Now, you'll notice that I'm bringing psychology in this because, you know, I've always loved psychology. And even as a child, I can remember we had like this one introduction to psychology book at home, and I would read it over and over again because I'm very interested in how the human mind works. And in building a brand, there is a lot of psychology to it. There is a lot of like deeper layers that you need to explore into your buyer's behavior for you to truly make those meaningful connections with them. So there is an intuitive feminine approach to ensure greater authenticity in your brand message and storytelling to attract your ideal clients. Uncovering the best way to communicate with your ideal clients and tell stories is how you develop your brand voice. So your brand voice are stemming, I want to think of it like a tree with branches. So the stem of the tree and the roots are your strategy, right? And the veins flowing through the tree that's keeping it alive is your brand identity. That's what's influencing the type of fruit that your tree will bear, right? And so the fruit that your brand as a business will bear is its brand voice, your message, and how you're communicating with people and how you're telling stories. And as you saw with Nike and all these other brands, this is influenced by the archetype, your brand DNA. Now, there's a four-part process I've developed a four-part process for determining what is on brand and off brand for you. You know, part of being consistent is really having that clear guide in your business that this is not how our brand speaks, this is how our brand speaks, and it's all influenced by the wider system of what your brand is trying to achieve, how it wants to be positioned in the market, and what is the archetypal message that you want to connect with your ideal clients. Your brand voice is an expression of your brand personality, what you stand for, what you believe in, and what you value. You will really see that the value of doing this step-by-step process of defining your archetype world for your brand and your brand voice when you get to the part of marketing your business. And this is the part most business owners get wrong, because then you get to doing things like Facebook ads or creating like your free offers, your lead magnets or whatever. If you haven't defined those pieces correctly, if you're not clear, they're going to be misaligned and you're not going to be getting the results because you have not taken the time to do the step-by-step process. So I put this here of a sample of a Facebook ad, and what you want in your brand and in your marketing is to be able to qualify and disqualify clients much faster. You want the right people. You always want to be talking to the right people. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, but you want 90% of the time that your ideal clients are in front of you. You also want to be consistent with your storytelling and your copywriting. You want a clear and captivating message that your ideal clients care about and connect with. You want high quality, well-targeted Facebook ads to generate quality leads online. Like, if this isn't done correctly, you're not going to attract the right people through your Facebook ads, your advertising, or whatever medium you decide to reach clients at. Your brand voice will also distinguish you from the other people in your niche saying the same thing, because you have a whole different flavor to it. And, you know, great brands aren't necessarily better. Like, you're not trying to be better necessarily, although it can be a goal of yours to be the best in your industry. But the main goal is to be different. Like, how do you make yourself different? iPhone isn't necessarily better than Samsung, but it's different, right? So your brand image is the fourth step, where we look at combining your strategy and identity to really create a visual look for your brand. And I put this yin and yang to show the masculine and feminine. So your strategy is the masculine, because these are the structures, these are the logics, the goals and the masculine parts of your brand. And the brand identity is the feminine. As you can see, it's intuitive. It's looking into the psyche. It's looking at creating emotional connections through archetypes and through defining the 6 dimensions that I showed you earlier. So everything that you see, especially with world-class brand images, are all influenced by everything that we spoke about earlier, right? It's not just taking beautiful photos and high-quality photos for taking photos' sake. Like, you don't want your photos to just look good. You want your photos to tell a story. You want it to reflect your archetype, and you want it to powerfully fulfill the strategies that you've set out for your brand, the goals that you've set out. Having a gorgeous online presence will really shift your confidence and energy in your business and how you go out and marketing. Thus, having a photo shoot that truly represents you is going to excite you. Like, I know that when I first started, and even now, I'm excited to get my brand and my brand message out there because I'm really proud of the brand that I've created. And I know that my clients resonate with it because they tell me that all the time, that they want a brand that like what I've created for myself, and that's why they're working with me. Plus having photo shoots. So as I said, the photo shoots so you'll discover how to select the best location, photographers, art direction, creating a vision for your photo shoot that powerfully reflects your archetypal stories, and connect with high-paying clients. A picture does say 1,000 words, and you can communicate so much meaning and so much information to the right clients through the visual aspects of your brand, your website. Like, you should see your website as this 24-hour salesman. When you're sleeping, there are people who are clicking through your online presence, who are getting to know you more and making decisions of whether to work with you or not. And so you really want to create a brand that sends the right triggers, that speaks for you when you're not able to speak, right? So it really is worth investing in that area of your business for the growth of your brand. I know in those early days, as I said, for me, a lot of my confidence came in knowing that I created something that I'm proud of, knowing that these are the same systems that I've used for luxury brands over the last 7 years, and I've used for high-end clients online, coaches and consultants like yourself who are looking to make a bigger impact in the world. One of the beautiful things about having a high-end brand and a high-quality brand that's well-developed is that you will attract great partners to your business. Like, the reason I was able to get the attention of brands like San Pellegrino, and even recently, like having Dr. Joe Vitale, who's on the movie The Secret, participate in one of my upcoming programs, is because I have a brand that people want to be associated with, right? And I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this to show you the value that when you position your brand at a certain level and in a certain way, you're going to attract the right partnerships, you're going to attract the right clients, and you're going to attract the right opportunities into your business, right? So the right brand really expands you. You'll also get a guide on how to plan and execute your photos you love, plan your wardrobe, like prop styling. Prop styling is really important. It's an area that I find to be very fun. Like, when I used to own a luxury lifestyle magazine that was distributed on mega yachts and in luxury hotel rooms. And I did this project for a number of years until I decided that, I didn't want to just create a product that was just showing off high-end products. I really wanted to create high-end products that made an impact in people's lives. And so I stopped doing the magazine. But when I did the magazine, planning the photo shoots for the magazine and all of that was really a fun project, because that's where you get to tell stories and you get to awaken people's imagination without words, just with an image. And I share also how you can do all of that and draw from all of my experience doing that work with the magazine and creating magazine-worthy photos for your brand effortlessly. Like, you're going to have the step-by-step guide for that, which is pretty exciting. So the fifth step, once you have your brand strategy, you have your brand DNA, you have your brand image, and you have all the pieces in place, it's time to look at your marketing, your brand. Now, this is where all the work, all the foundation you would have done with your brand strategy, your brand identity, and everything else will serve you powerfully, right? So, and of course, the first step, which was mindset, which I forgot to mention. And so when your mind is in the right place, you're confident, you're thinking the right thoughts, you're the woman who is available to be that world-class brand, and you're feeling fierce, and you know that you have invested in a high-end brand and you have great packages, it's time to go out and market yourself and become visible in the world. Now, in my program, I really show you how to create those high-end packages. And if you're interested in doing like luxury destination retreats, I'm really excited to meet with some of my clients who are meeting with me in Paris in September. for my VIP luxury retreat at the Ritz Paris. Like all these exciting projects and client services are available to you when you have put all the pieces in place for your brand. You also get my support in terms of pricing your packages. Now, I know that this is an area that holds a lot of energy for many women. Like, how do I price my packages? Like, how do I know this is the right price to charge, or the right price that people will pay for, or whatever other questions that you have, you will understand how to price your packages, right? Growing your email list. So part of marketing your brand, you need to be able to grow your email list of high-end leads. So you learn all the systems and structures that you need to have to really qualify leads. So you're making sure that the right people are opting into your list, right? I believe that all the women on my list are high vibrational women. Like, they're attracted to me and they join my list because these are women who are really going for it. These are world-class brands. These are chic, stylish, spiritual women who are ready to make an impact in the world. And I know this of the women on my list, and I know that these are the type of women that you want to attract as well. You also need to be able to create like writing great copy. So you'll get support with writing great copy and learning to communicate your unique identity and message in a captivating way. Writing great sales pages that sell your programs for you. Like, you really want, like, if you're not available or someone asks you some information on your program, that you have a link that you can send them to, and you know that this page will powerfully sell them your programs. You also want to be visible to your ideal clients. Like, how do you get published in major media and be seen with influencers so that you really build your expert positioning in your market? You also want to be able to create free offers that convert and have landing pages to build your list. So you learn how to do this correctly, like creating an irresistible offer that gets you high caliber clients opting in and really give you the opportunity to convert these people into clients. Becoming an inbox influencer. You know, I love email marketing, and I've been able to get many clients through email. So, you know, you learn how to do that and how to create emails that convert and get people to take action. So when you've created a brand that authentically represents you, you can now confidently attract and serve your ideal client. You now have a gorgeous website that sells your services for you. You're selling high-end packages to clients who you can make a real difference for. You're traveling the world to beautiful destinations, and your business does not have to suffer in the process because you have the right systems in place to automate. I mean, there's nothing worse than feeling like when you go on vacation, nothing's happening in your business because you're not there. Like, you really want to have those systems and structures set up so that when you're on vacation, your business is working for you while you're away. So I want to share with you some clients that I've worked with. And Renata is one of my clients, and also we've become very good friends over this year. And she was really suffering from website shame when we met. And she just did not want to get online. She did not want to get in front of clients because she didn't want to send people to her website. She didn't feel like it reflected who she was. And she just she was holding back from marketing her business. And we worked on her branding. And within a few weeks, she went to this conference and she was second guessing whether she should do it. And we discussed it and she went for it. And as a result of the work that we did, she had her highest paying month in her business, and many new clients scheduled discovery sessions to work with her. So, you know, she really says that she appreciated the individualized approach and guidance that she got from me in creating a world-class brand and finding the soul of her business, reconnecting with her vision and her ideal clients. And so she says that, you know, working with me, she's able to claim her worth and take her business to a new level. And that is the type of result that I want for you and for everyone who works with me, because it really is possible, and your brand can help you do that. Because we started off this session talking about mindset, and there's a certain level of energy and a certain level of confidence that comes when you know you have a brand that's well built, right? So I also had this other client, and this client is also working with me again. So, it shows you if someone signs up for your program twice, you know that you're doing a good job. And she said that she was able to discover the clarity on, exactly who she's meant to serve. And now she's able to find her niche market following my guidance. Her idle clients began to find her, and now she serves her idle clients with ease and the best that she has to offer. She said that, we also worked on the physical attributes of her brand. So she did her logo redesign. And for her, it has taken on deeper meaning because it's connected to her archetype. It's connected to the essence of her brand and everything that she has to offer. And she also said that, the part about me being frank, because you'll find that if you work with me, that I'm here to support you, but I'm also here to be fierce with you, to hold a bigger space and hold a bigger vision for you, to keep you accountable so that you're on track with achieving your goals. Like many of us are not achieving our goals because you don't have the accountability. So you're not showing up consistently. You're procrastinating. And when you have someone that's holding you accountable, then you know that you need to show up. And I'm here to ensure that I keep you and be fierce with you so that you're showing up and achieving your goals powerfully, right? So what do you get in this one-on-one program with me? I do have a program. It's called the 90 Days to Building Your World-Class Brand. And you'll get access to my VIP private coaching members area where you will find a personal note from me and an in-depth welcome packet. You'll also find the Cultured Life Prep, which is a wealth and personal mastery process. So even before we begin coaching, like you're going to begin up-leveling your life and your business and wealth consciousness. You'll also get weekly coaching sessions with me, coaching calls over a 3-month period. And then when you complete the program with me, you'll get your online brand is built. You'll be very clear on who your ideal high-end paying clients are and where to find them. You'll have a clear strategy on how you'll achieve your goals for your brand without losing your true essence and personal sense of style. A clear positioning strategy to stand out as an expert and different in your market. You have a unique brand identity that help you create consistent and compelling messages that connect with your ideal clients emotionally. And you'll also have a feminine and professional, gorgeous online brand, plus automated systems to generate high-end leads online. When you complete this program, you're selling high-end packages and making money as a transformational coach or consultant with clients all over the world or in your community or region, whatever your desire is. You're traveling the world to destinations that you love, and you're being who you're meant to be and transforming lives in the process. You've created a dream brand and creating a life that you love. As soon as you enroll, you'll get an email from me with your username and password to my VIP coaching area, plus access to some of my other paid self-study programs. You'll get your welcome packet, and as I said, your Cultured Life Prep and Wealth and Personal Mastery Prep. We'll also meet to schedule your sessions. So we meet ahead of time and we schedule your sessions, and we begin your journey of building your world-class brand so that you can start serving the high-end clients that you love to serve. I really want to help you move forward and get your brand to the next level this year. If you still have questions and you want to reach out to me personally, you can reach out to me at hannah@hannahfitz.com. Whether you decide to work with me or you decide to work with someone else, I encourage you to get your brand built right, because there's so much more available for you when you do it the correct way. And I want to help support you through this process, because so many of us can go into overwhelm and spin and stay frustrated and not get it done. And I feel like if you have a desire to create a world-class brand, you need to allow yourself permission to step into a high-end program and be mentored through the process and be supported through the process in the same way that you intend to support your clients. Like, give yourself the gift of being supported instead of trying to struggle your way through it. Like, there's so much ease, there's so much joy that can be, and confidence as well. Like, this is a big piece. So much confidence that comes when you know that you're on the right track. You have a mentor who has done it and who can show you the exact steps to do it for yourself. So we've run through our hour for this session. I want to honor you for being on here with me tonight. And I invite you, if you want to get on a call with me, to schedule a free strategy session at my website, or you can register to sign up with me on my private coaching program, where we will build your brand in over the next 90 days. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I honor you for being on this call, for being a woman who fiercely goes after her goal. It's like, it's late. I know some of you are joining us from around the world, and I want to thank you for being here with me tonight. And have a wonderful evening, ladies. Thank you.